Hi, I am here because we didn't finish the notes on completing the square, which was, I think, 2.5, page 8 in the notes. So I'm going to go back and teach completing the square so that you can make sure you can do your homework. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to do example 8 again, and we're going to solve A, B, C, and D by using completing the square. So if you remember, we write everything with an X on one side and everything with just a number on the other side. So x squared plus 8x equals, and we have to subtract 1 from both sides, -1. Notice I left a space here and here to add or subtract something. It's always add, by the way. So to both sides. Now, how do I know what to add? Well, I take this number right here, 8, and I say 1/2 of 8, and that equals 4. And then I have to take 4, and I have to square it, and that equals 16. That's the number I add in both places. I take half of this number, and I square it. So half of 8 is 4, 4 squared. Plus 16, plus 16. Now I have a perfect square here. That's what I was trying to do the whole time, was make a perfect square. So what that means is I can write this as a perfect square. It's 8 plus 4 squared equals, and on this side, it's 15. Now, how did I know it was 8 plus 4 squared? Well, first of all, that's what I did. I did it on purpose. But whatever number you get that's half the coefficient, that's the number that goes there. If it's a negative number, it's minus that number. If it's a positive number, it's plus that number. And then you just write it like this. X plus 4 squared equals 15. Now we know how to solve that square root property. So we take the square root of this and the square root of this. The square root of this side cancels that out, and we just have x plus 4. And then over here we have equals plus or minus the square root of 15. Now you can't simplify that anymore. Square root of 15 is the square root of 15, but we can do this. We can subtract 4 from both sides and say x equals plus or minus the square root of 15 minus 4, and that's our answer, because you can't take that square root of 15 down anymore. So positive square root of 15 minus 4 and negative square root of 15 minus 4. Those are our two answers. So let's do this one here. This next one. I'm just going to skip down to C, and then we'll go to the other side. All the x's on one side and the numbers on the other. X squared minus 3x, leaving a space, equals plus 4 on both sides. We get a 4. Now I have to take half of this number, half of -3. Well, that's -3 over 2. And then you have to take -3 over 2 and square it. And that's 9 over 4. That's the number that you're going to put in now on both sides. Plus 9 over 4 and plus 9 over 4. Remember, what we want here on this side is a perfect square. And I told you, whatever number you get here goes in the parentheses. So we have x minus 3 over 2 squared equals 4 plus 9 over 4. So if we simplify this out and we put 4 times 4 on the bottom and 4 times 4 on the top, it's 16/4. 4 is 16/4. So we can add that now. 16/4 plus 9/4 is 25/4. Okay, just used using the least common denominator and made that work. Now, we're going to square root both sides. That's going to cancel that out. We're going to square root this side. we're going to get x minus 3 over 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 25 over 4. What do you know about the square root of 25 over 4? Plus or minus? Square root of 25, 5. Square root of 4, 2. So plus or minus 5 over 2. So now we have x minus 3 over 2 equals plus or minus 5 halves. You add 3 over 2 to both sides. You get x equals 3 over 2 plus 5 over 2, and x equals 3 over 2 minus 5 over 2. 3 plus 5 is 8 over 2. That's x equals 4. 3 minus 5 is negative 2 over 2. That's x equals negative 1. All right, we'll do B and D in just a second.